From the Hollow. Reddit is full of creepy stories, but some of them are just too real to ignore. These 5 true horror stories weren't written to entertain. They were shared by real people who still can't explain what happened to them. We're diving deep into the darkest corners of Reddit, where fear is palpable, and the line between reality and nightmare blurs. So turn off the lights, grab your blankets, and prepare to be disturbed, because after hearing these tales, you might want to sleep with the lights on. Imagine this. It's a crisp fall night. The air is heavy with the scent of pine needles and damp earth. You're nestled deep within the Oregon wilderness, miles from civilization. Your only companion, the gentle crackling of the campfire. This is exactly what Emily had in mind when she decided to embark on a solo camping trip. But as the night deepened, a sense of unease crept in. Around 2 a.m., a sound cut through the stillness, rousing Emily from her sleep. A whisper, faint but distinct. "Emily!" Terror gripped her. The voice came again, closer this time, more insistent. "Emily!" Clutching her flashlight, her heart pounding, Emily lay paralyzed with fear. Finally, as the first rays of dawn began to filter through the trees, she dared to peek outside. The campsite was deserted. Seeking answers, she made her way to the only other tent she had seen across the river, but the campers there had left the previous evening. So, who was calling Emily's name in the dead of night, Ed? Moving into a new apartment always comes with a mix of excitement and apprehension. For one young woman, that apprehension soon morphed into sheer terror within the walls of her new home. The first week was uneventful. She unpacked, arranged her furniture, and began settling into a routine. But one night, as she lay in bed, a prickling sensation crept up her spine, the unsettling feeling of being watched. Finally, driven by an unknown force, she opened her eyes. And that's when she saw it, a face, pale and gaunt, with eyes wide with malice peering through the gap in her bedroom curtains. A scream ripped from her throat. Leaping from the bed, she fumbled for the light switch, bathing the room in a blinding glare. Heart hammering in her chest, she grabbed the baseball bat she kept by her bedside and cautiously approached the window. But there was nothing there. The window was locked from the inside. Her rational mind tried to explain it away as a trick of the light. Days later, while chatting with a neighbour, she recounted the unsettling experience. The neighbour's response sent a wave of ice through her veins. The previous tenant had tragically jumped to her death from that very window. Now, every time she draws the curtains, she can't help but hesitate, her gaze drawn to the spot where she had seen the face. Don't stop there again. The driver never did. feeling that something sinister visited him that night. College life, with its cramped dorms and late-night study sessions, can be a breeding ground for strange and unsettling experiences. For one student, the strangeness began subtly, a creeping sense of unease that slowly wormed its way into his everyday life. He and his roommate had been assigned a room on the 4th floor. At first, everything seemed normal, but as the semester progressed, a change came over his roommate. He became withdrawn, his behavior growing increasingly erratic. He would often be caught whispering to himself, his eyes darting around the room. At night he would stay up for hours, pacing the room, his whispers turning into incoherent mumbles. The student initially dismissed it as stress, but as the weeks went by, the behavior escalated. One morning, the student woke up to find his roommate's bed empty. His belongings were gone. Assuming his roommate had dropped out, the student continued with his semester. Weeks later, feeling overwhelmed, he approached the resident assistant, requesting a room change. The RA's response sent chills down his spine. "Room 406 has been assigned to you, and only you, since the beginning of the semester." The student stared at the screen, his blood turning to ice. He had lived with someone for 6 weeks, someone who, according to the records, never existed. So, there you have it, 5 terrifying tales ripped from the depths of Reddit. Stories that remind us that sometimes the most unsettling horrors are the ones that whisper to us from the shadows of our own reality. If these stories gave you chills, just wait till the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell, because I've got even darker tales coming soon. Until then, sleep tight if you can, because remember, some nightmares are real.